Hello everybody. Welcome to our Catalyst for Change Challenge Day 1. I'm super excited about this challenge. We're going to be doing this for the next 3 days. And so yesterday, if you didn't see that video, go back and watch the replay. I detailed out exactly what we're going to be doing together over the next few days. And we are going to tackle one habit. So you get to choose one habit to tackle, right? Because we're going to focus on one at a time, right? So that we can really change that behavior, anchor in some new behaviors. Hey everybody who's joining, welcome. And so I'm really excited to get started today. So I'm going to be live the next 3 days, and we'll do some quick coaching on the questions you're going to ask yourself each day. But first I wanted to explain why it's called Catalyst for Change. And it's because, like we mentioned in the video yesterday, you're not going to change everything in 3 days, right? You're not going to be able to change all of it. It's going to take time. Of course, they say 21 days to change a habit. That's really just to get it into your routine. And then some people say up to 66 days. It depends on the person, right? To really make it an automatic thing. But wanted to call it a catalyst for change because a catalyst is defined as a person or thing that precipitates an event. And so we are being catalysts for our own change by setting ourselves up for success in this challenge. And I believe if you ask yourself 6 questions and you answer those questions, that you will be set up for greater success when you're working on changing a daily habit. And so I asked some of you to tell me if you were excited, and what habit you wanted to change. And so those of you who did got a worksheet with all of these questions on them, and you are not too late. So if you've not done that yet, if you're watching the replay, say hello either way, if you're on the live or you're on the replay, but you can still post a comment or send me a message and say I'm in, and tell me which habit you are working on changing, and you will get the worksheet. So don't worry about that. You're still going to get it. But I'm also going to walk you through the individual questions here in the video. So there are 6 total. We're going to do 2 per day. So that's what we're going to tackle. So a few of you said that you wanted to drink more water. It's perfect for summer, right? A couple people said they wanted to work on organization, and there were some people who said that they wanted to be more disciplined in their work habits now that they're working from home. And so I'm going to use those as examples for today so that you can see how this would relate. And again, they don't have to be deep-seated, things that have been going on with you for decades. But it could, right? It could be as simple, again, as drinking more water or getting organized, but there's still a history behind that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So question number 1 that I want you to ask yourself is, what is the habit, right? We need to identify the habit. So that's first. So what is the habit that you have, and what are you going to replace it with? So when you say, I want to drink more water, what are you drinking now? So we have to figure out what is the behavior that we're going to diminish and limit, and what is the behavior that we're going to replace it with, because we want to anchor in new behaviors, but they have to replace something, right? So it can't just be a void. So you need to replace something with something else. So for example, if you want to drink more water, what were you doing before? Were you just not drinking anything? Were you drinking soda? Were you drinking tea? Like, what actually is it? I remember when my mom wanted to increase her water consumption, and she was drinking a lot of iced tea. And so she had to replace drinking the iced tea with drinking water, and maybe limit it to 1 iced tea during the day. And I don't even think she does it daily anymore. But she was getting really dehydrated from that, right? And you don't even notice it, honestly. But she really wanted to drink more water because it was good for her health. So figuring out what is the habit, and why do you want to change it, right? And then if you're wanting to get organized, looking at how long has that been there? Or drinking water. Did you never drink water as a kid? Did you always drink soda? Did you always drink juice? things like that. How long has this been a habit for you of not drinking the water or not being organized? Where did that come from, right? And, oh, sorry guys. So for example, why did you not want to drink the water? So is it something where it didn't taste good? You wanted some flavor to it? That's going to help you later when you figure out what you're going to replace the behavior with, right? And so we're going to identify the habit, figure out how long it's been there with you, and then what purpose it served. So, did you not drink the water because it didn't taste good and you wanted something tasty? And so that habit served you by having something tasty to drink, right? And that is going to help guide you with what to replace it with and how to do that, okay? So with your organization, I mentioned this a little bit yesterday. How long have you been disorganized? Was there a reason why you were became disorganized? Or was it something maybe you grew up with? Or is it just you accumulated too much to stay organized? What is that? And what purpose did it serve you? Does it give you safety and security to have those things? Is it something where you feel like if you organize one area of your life, you'll have to organize something else? There may be some things going on there. Okay, there might be something going on there with the organization. And then if you're looking at being more disciplined with work, for example, and really making that schedule, a lot of the time, these habits serve the purpose for us of comfort zone or avoiding something uncomfortable. Okay, so either a comfort zone or avoiding something uncomfortable. And so when you're looking at what purpose is it serving, what is it doing for you? And that's going to lead us to the second question. So the first question was identify the habit. It's kind of a few parts, right? Identify the habit. How long has that been with you? And what purpose has it served in your life? Okay. And then second is going to be, how has this habit, so we're going to look at, like if you're looking at drinking more water, we're going to look at what you have been doing. Okay, so we're looking at that first. So we're looking at what the less healthy habit has been for you. And you're going to look at how is that habit a detriment to your life? So how does it negatively impact you? Is it impacting your health in terms of organization? Is it impacting your ability to time manage because you can't find things? Is it impacting you in terms of discipline with work time, financially? How is this not benefiting you? Okay, so how is it a detriment to your life to keep this habit going? Then, second part of that question is, how does it benefit you? And sometimes that's challenging because we just think, oh, it's a bad habit, it's a bad habit. But there's some reason why it's stuck around for you, right? So how is it benefiting you in your life to keep that habit around, especially if it's something you've tried to change before and you haven't been able to? Then that means that there's some benefit to it. And as irrational as it seems, or as silly as it seems sometimes, there is some kind of a benefit to that. And so that's something I work a lot with my individual clients on is, what is the detriment, but what is that benefit? And most of the time they're really surprised about that benefit. So that's going to be a little bit more of a deep thinking question today of, how is this hurting me? How is it helping me? Is it helping me stay comfortable in my comfort zone? Is it helping me by giving me something, sometimes with eating? For example, it can fulfill some kind of emotional need, make you feel better in some way, that you could actually fulfill that need with a healthier habit, right? With something else. So we really want to look at those things. So that is what we are doing for today. And let me know if you have any comments, if you have any questions. I am going to be here so that we can have this discussion because we want to work through each set of these questions. So we're going to have 2 real questions per day over the next 3 days. And so I want to make sure that we're in discussion. If you need to message me or comment below, absolutely let me know what your thoughts are around this. I want to work through these things together. So what is the habit you're working on? Some of you had already answered that question. If you haven't, post it here so I can send you that worksheet. It's actually a few sheets. So I'll send you the worksheet of exactly what we're walking through, and you'll get to see ahead what we're doing. But really focus on those couple, okay? And if you want to skip ahead, you definitely can, but then build them out as we go through them each day. So we want to figure out, what is that habit? How long has it been around? Where did it come from, right? Is it something that's been with you a long time? Is it something that's newer? And what purpose did it serve in your life, okay? And then what are the detriments and what are the benefits of having that habit? So we haven't changed it yet. We're still talking about the unhealthy habit or the less beneficial habit, whatever that might be. And again, you guys, you can focus on physical habits, you can focus on mental habits, you can focus on emotional or relational habits, whatever you want to focus on, but let me know what that is. I'm really excited to hear about those and what your revelations are about this, because sometimes these are light bulb moments, right? You're like, oh, I see. Because once we have awareness and clarity around the habit you want to change, that's when we can really start going through over the next couple of days more information about that habit and how we can replace it, okay? So that's what we're going to work on tomorrow. So today we're just going to identify it, figure out where it came from, figure out how it's been benefiting you and how it's hurting you, because there's some reason why you want to change it. So there's definitely some reasons why it's being detrimental to you. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about replacing it and how to do that, because again, you have to have something to replace it with versus just getting rid of it, okay? So if somebody's stopping smoking, for example, it's like when they get that craving to put that up to their mouth, what are they going to do instead? And so many times they end up eating instead. And so then they gain weight. So a lot of people talk about, oh, you gain weight when you quit smoking. It doesn't have anything to do with quitting smoking per se, but it has to do with the habit that they're replacing the other habit with, and neither one of them are that great, right? And so we want to make sure that we're replacing it with something that's going to benefit you more and be less detrimental to you. So again, we'll talk more about that tomorrow. But for today, let me know when you watch this. Put live or put replay in the comments. Go ahead and tell me what that habit is and some of your thoughts and your aha moments around these two questions. And then I'll be back here, same time, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, tomorrow live to go through the next two questions with you in our second day of our 3-day challenge. And again, if you want that workbook, make sure that you let me know I'm in the comments and what your habit is. So have an amazing day. Have some good reflection time at some point today to go through these, whether it's at night before you go to bed or early tomorrow morning. Whenever your good quiet time is, take a little bit, maybe, just a few minutes, 15 minutes to sit down and really look at these questions. And we'll be back here tomorrow. I'll see you then, guys.